Good morning. A few weeks ago when all of this was kind of hitting and the stock market was tanking, I happened to talk to my mom and we were talking about her retirement account. And I kind of helped manage that a little bit for her. And I said, Mom, I'm not going to look. I don't have the courage to look. And I'm not looking at mine either right now. This is just something we've got to kind of ride out. And I did end up having to look at hers to do a little bit of adjustment for her and found out it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, which was good. I still haven't had the courage to take a look at mine because retirement and our savings and wanting to know that we have enough money is one of those things that can bring a lot of anxiety and for all of us, of course, and during this time particularly, that has been a huge issue, and we're hearing, of course, when can the economy open back up, or others, when will my stimulus check come in, and all of that kind of thing. And money is a big issue for us, and should be in lots of ways, but of course it shouldn't be the primary issue. But that is probably why this morning in my own personal devotions, which happened to be in 1 Peter 1, I really keyed in on the word inheritance, and that brought up a little bit of anxiety, but also because of the way that Peter writes his passage, it also brought up a lot of comfort. So let me share with you from 1 Peter 1, verses 3 through 7. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. By his great mercy, he has given us new birth into a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead, and into an inheritance that is imperishable, undefiled, and unfading, kept in heaven for you, who are being protected by the power of God through faith for a salvation ready to be revealed in the last time. In this you rejoice, even if now for a little while you have had to suffer various trials, so that the genuineness of your faith, being more precious than gold, that though perishable is tested by fire, may be found to result in praise and glory and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed. Well, there's a lot in there, and I won't unpack all of it. I would encourage you to meditate on that verse or on those few verses yourself maybe later today. But of course that word inheritance popped for me originally, immediately. And the first thing I noticed was this is an inheritance that we get not upon death, but actually because of resurrection. It says that we get this inheritance, this living hope, through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. So rather than waiting for someone to die and getting an inheritance, this is an inheritance we get because Jesus is raised from the dead. And unlike an inheritance that might be stored up for us at a mutual fund company or someplace else, this is one that is kept in heaven for us, where it is completely imperishable, undefiled, and unfading. You don't have to go and check your balance when there's an up or a down in the wider world. The balance stays right there as well. And yet the thing that brings me most hope is not so much that there's this inheritance off in the future, and that when I am riding out the various trials in the present, I know it's okay because I have an inheritance in the future. That's important for me, and resurrection is obviously incredibly important for all of us and should be. And it is that great hope that Peter talks about. But it's also the fact that the Gospels, the Bible, always lets us know, and Peter even here in this passage lets us know that our faith is not just a faith for somewhere off in the far distant future, but we get tastes of the resurrection here in the present. We are able to access some of our inheritance, if you will, here in the present. For years, Lee's mother has been writing a check to each of her children each year, one check a year, and she says, "This is a check I'm giving to you that is part of your inheritance, and I want you to have it now." My mother has taken my sisters and I on several vacations, and she has spent out of her retirement account so that we can go on vacations with her. In a sense, we are experiencing a little bit of our inheritance now, and the gospel is exactly the same way. We can experience our inheritance now. And part of the ways that we experience our inheritance is to know that the inheritance that Christ gives to us, the joy, the living hope that Peter talks about that Christ gives to us, is not something we just keep and treasure for ourselves, but it's something that we are to share with others. And so we're told that we're able to rejoice even in these present suffering trials, and that even that the present suffering trials reveal the genuineness of our faith. We receive an inheritance not because of anything that we do. It's simply because we were born into a particular family, we receive an inheritance. Likewise, we receive the inheritance of Jesus Christ not because of anything we do, not because we earn it, but simply because we've been born into His family. And yet being born into His family means that we are changed, we are transformed. And so we take our inheritance and we use it for the good of others. And so my encouragement for you today, particularly if this is a day when you're anxious about money, anxious about when things might open back up again, anxious about your health or other things, to know that you have an inheritance in heaven that is absolutely imperishable, absolutely undefiled, absolutely unfading, but also you're getting a little down payment on that inheritance each and every day. And if you will take that inheritance and use it for the good of someone else, it actually grows even more. That's the way that God's economy works. And so find a way this day to tap into that joy that Christ offers, and then to offer that joy to someone else. Remind them, as I've been reminding you, God is with us. Amen.